Praise the Lord, everyone. Brother Roop here. We are in the book of Acts, chapter 10. We're going to do verses 5 and 6 together, since they really talk about the same thing, actually. We are talking about Cornelius and him being the first Gentile to enter the church. And God has arranged Peter to go down there and preach to him. Let me read chapter 5 and 6. And now send me to Joppa and call one Simon, whose surname is Peter. He lodges with one Simon, the tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. So you got two Simons living together. So the angel, which appeared to Cornelius and who's talking, has to make a difference between them. So he says, Simon Peter, which is the Apostle Peter, who was lodging with Simon the tanner. Now, that's kind of interesting all by itself, because tanners were unclean because they worked and touched dead animals. And touching dead animals was against the law of Moses and made them unclean. And anybody who associated themselves with a tanner were unclean. So Peter, being a good Jew and whose main ministry was to the Jewish people, was living with a tanner. Interesting. Which made him ceremonially unclean, which, now that Peter's a Christian, doesn't really matter anymore. But still, it's kind of interesting that psychologically Peter would live with a tanner. Plus, his main ministry was to the Jews, and, the Jews would not have liked it if they found out he was living with a tanner. In fact, when the church council calls Peter on the carpet for bringing in a Gentile in the church, Peter describes the situation, but he doesn't tell them he was living with a tanner. He leaves that piece of information out, that he's living with a tanner. We can read that in the next chapter. I believe it's 11:14, chapter 11, verse 14. He kind of leaves that piece of information out, which is kind of funny. I think it's kind of funny. It looks like Peter had been living in a tanner. He's trying to keep it a secret, kind of staying on the down low. I don't know why. Kind of seems like he was hiding out in a way. Maybe Peter got some death threats and he was hiding out. We don't know. Luke, our author of the book of Acts, doesn't tell us that. But anyway, God's going to have Peter go to Cornelius in Caesarea and bring the first Gentile in the church, and the church will be forever changed. It will soon stop being people in the way, and it will start turning to Christianity. And we're going to be seeing that here in a little bit. Thank you.